If you own 2 or 3 properties, then buy more now. If you own 0, you may not be able to get one at all anymore. This is how CBDC will fundamentally change the way we operate in real estate and in life. Central banks play a critical role in managing a nation's economy. They have tools at their disposal to control interest rates, monetary supply, and regulate financial institutions. Now, CBDC is a layer on top of this. CBDC refers to a digital form of national currency that's regulated by the central bank. Imagine Bitcoin, but without any of the decentralization, meaning they can block you whenever they like. In the good old days, you could start a lemonade stand with your friend. You get the lemons, you get some water, some sugar, mix it up, and you start selling a cup for $1. Now, once CBDC comes in, you won't be able to do that anymore. The payment will have to go through Square or some sort of other technology, but it'll all be tracked, and you'll have to explain to the tax man where that money came from and how you got it. So CBDC means everything, literally everything is going to be tracked. Now, here are the implications. With CBDC, central banks may have the ability to lend directly to individuals or businesses rather than going to a bank and getting a mortgage and going through all the hoops through the normal financial institutions. It will just be much quicker, there's less fees, there's less paperwork. It sounds like a good thing, right? It's also going to stop mortgage fraud or greatly reduce it because we're seeing that 20% of condo owners are lying about their income and their job history just to qualify for a mortgage. Now, the other positive with this is that everybody's income and their pay stubs are going to be tied on a ledger. So this is going to greatly reduce the amount of fraudsters, which is actually an enormous problem right now in Brampton. So the level of due diligence and validating someone's income is going to be less work. Because of how blockchain works, it's an enormous system that validates your transaction. Meaning for you to fake your income, you'll have to fake it in the blockchain system, not just on a paper stub, which is way harder. Now, the next stage to come along with this are 15-minute cities, which is a new urban planning concept, which will be highly adopting the CBDC system. What's a 15-minute city, you ask? It's basically a protocol being tested right now in Canada where you essentially can't leave a 15-minute radius from where you live. Now, they're trying to make it sound all nice and progressive, meaning we're gonna design places that have a grocery store, a school, a library, all within a 15-minute radius of where you live. So it sounds super cool, but what's the real angle here is they want to lower carbon emissions for cars.
That all new vehicle sales are zero-emission vehicles and that we have a net zero grid by 2035.
So you may be thinking, whatever, I'll just leave. But according to the 15-minute city planners, you will face harsh penalties and potentially even jail time for trying to leave your 15-minute radius bubble. Like what? That's insane.
Sure, Matt, but what does that have to do with CBDC?
I'm glad you asked, because they're basically foreshadowing what's potentially going to come with the CBDC system. And what it is just control. It's just tracking what you're spending on, tracking where you're going. You can't leave here. You can only go out at this time of day. Who knows what's potentially going to come from this? I'm not some tinfoil hat guy, although I do like my conspiracy theories for fun. But you know, I'm trying to be a realist, but the reality is, your entire life is going to be on a ledger system, what you're spending on, what you're receiving money, who you're receiving it from, where are you going at night, where are you traveling at 7 p.m., at 8 p.m., at 9 p.m. Now, you know me, I'm all about freedom. I just want to live my life, dude, do my thing. I want to eat my fruits, eat my vegetables. I want to be healthy. And I don't want the government or anyone else for that matter just telling me what I can eat, where I can go, what I can invest in, how I can invest in that asset. Dude, just leave me alone, dude. That's what I stand for. That's what I'm about. And that's my whole really investing strategy, why I invest in real estate, the way I do it, just to get financial freedom and mobility freedom. You know, especially with what just happened over the past couple of years with the C word. You know, we literally had to flee Canada and go to Florida at the height of the craziness for a number of months. And the only reason why I had the ability to do that, the ability of mobility to do where I want, go where I want, when I want, not to worry about money, not to worry about where I need to stay. I don't have a job. I don't have an employer telling me where I can go. I can just pick up and leave wherever I want. So I was so fortunate and blessed to be able to do that during that time, which we can all look back on and say, dude, that was a crazy time. Hopefully that stuff never happens again, but this stuff they're gonna implement is gonna make it at the very least easier to implement stuff like that again at a way harsher level if they ever wanted to. And if CBDC were a thing and common practice, you would have to exchange your Canadian CBDC and exchange it for US CBDC, and therefore it would be locked on a ledger. Potentially the American government can say, oh, I don't want you investing. I don't want you to be even getting US CBDC. So for you to buy a property in Florida or Idaho or wherever you want to invest, I don't think so. I'm blocking it right here, right now. So you can see where a system like this could potentially get to. Now, international investing is, a big part of GDP. It's a big part of the economy, especially the USA. People from all around the world exchange money in their currencies and want to bring it to the USA. They want to buy real estate. They want to buy businesses. They want to buy hair salons. They want to buy laundromats, whatever they got to do. Most likely washing that money, but who cares? They're investing in the economy. They're providing jobs. Let them. So this is just something to be weary of, something to think about if you're planning to invest in other countries. This idea is really becoming more mainstream, and it's highly predicted to be circulating in the economy within at least 5 to 10 years. Who knows? And with people having a lack of trust potentially in their government, let's be real, Canadians, we haven't been the freest country in a long time for the past couple of years, that's for sure. I mean, even if you agreed with all of this C-word politics going on, I'm sure at this point you can at least admit that, hey man, the way we went about that probably wasn't good. Not letting people go to restaurants, get on planes, cross borders, see families. Yeah, that shit was pretty crazy. But think about how easy it would be to implement laws or policies like this with a controlled money system. So if you ever want to avoid future lockdowns, or you're not happy with the policies in your countries regarding the economy, regarding your money, maybe you want to leave invested somewhere else simply to make a better ROI. Maybe it's not even some crazy conspiracy that, oh, we got to leave Canada ASAP because Trudeau's going to make us all do this and fall in line. Maybe it's not even about that. Maybe you're just a regular investor like me and you want to invest somewhere else because you just get a better return on your money in the US. But if this system comes to mainstream, it's going to be very, very hard to do that, possibly even impossible. What makes an economy turn is the investing within that economy, whether it's by its citizens, whether it's by other immigrants or foreigners. If they're providing jobs, buying businesses, buying houses, constructing houses, they're giving to the economy. I personally don't see a problem with that. I mean, the US was literally built on immigrants. So to bring in policies like this, it might very well hurt the economy. Again, politicians are kings and queens of unintended consequences. While the CBDC might sound good in theory, it's going to be easier to see where the money's coming in, how is it going, it's easier to record, easier for taxes. There's also going to be a crazy amount of unintended consequences that are going to come from this that are actually going to hurt the country potentially a lot more than the benefits they're trying to strive for. So to close this video off, do just focus on your freedom, okay? You can't save the country. It's something I really believe in. The only person you can save, the only people you can save is yourself and your family. So that's why I really believe in investing in real estate and quality assets and just taking care of my family bubble. That's my first and foremost priority before I start trying to save the world. Because one of my favorite sayings is, if everybody swept their own front porch, the world would be clean. Meaning, if everybody got their shit together and just took care of themselves, their family, their household, they weren't poor, they understood the economy, they understood business, everybody would be mostly fine. But the reality is, we have a bunch of people in the economy who don't know dick about shit. They don't know how the world works. They don't know how money works. They have no idea what they're friggin' doing, and that's why they're broke, unhappy, divorced, fat, lazy. They just don't understand, dude. And what's the point? What's the point of trying to understand when the whole world is against you? There's no way to get ahead. When you're believing in a system of get good grades, get a good job, retire when you're 60, live a great life, you'll own your own home. Well, all of that is becoming bullshit. And now we got a new system to potentially worry about. Get your money right.